那么我现在讲第二个大的问题，中国改革和革命的二难选择啊。
So now I'm going to talk about a second question, which is the difficult choice for China between reform and revolution.
那么我提到就是中国目前面临的最大问题是中共的合法性问题。那么中国当下所面临的最大的挑战是不确定性。
So as I said, the question of China's biggest challenge is indeterminacy.
这里我提到两个人的看法，一个叫索罗斯，是外国的一个大投资商，是吧？他在2014年提到，就是说世界面临的最大的不确定性，不是欧元的不稳定，而是中国的不稳定。
So in 2014, George Soros said that the biggest indeterminacy facing the world was not the fate of the euro, but was the fate of China.
那么索罗斯呢，他的一个看法呢，和我们的现在理论界的一些普遍的看法呢，还是比较一致的。他认为中国的快速增长的这个动力啊，已经开始衰竭了。
这个是谁的看法？
索罗斯。2014年他们这么看。
So Soros felt that the dynamic, the forces behind the rapid growth of the Chinese economy were losing their steam. That was his argument.
他认为中国经济的成功过渡将取决于政治和经济改革的成功与否。
And whether or not the Chinese economy would succeed depended on whether or not economic and political reform would succeed.
他也认为他其实得出了和沈大伟差不多的一个结论，就是认为如果中国的经济改革、政治改革失败的话，中国将处于一个内外交困的一个局面。
And he was more or less in the same place with what Shamball later wrote, Soros saying in 2014, that if the economic and political reforms didn't move forward, then China would find itself in trouble both domestically and internationally.
那么柳传志呢是在今年2016年的年初1月份的时候，在一个内部会议上呢提到的他的一个看法，就是说他提到是2016年的最大的不确定性。
So 刘全志是国内的经济学家？
是著名的商业领袖。
商业领袖。Okay, so famous businessman. Does he have an English name?
Chairman of Lenovo.
Chairman of Lenovo. 刘传志 in an internal meeting January of this year.
他提出是2016年最大的挑战是
the biggest challenge for China in 2016 would be.
那么他主要认为中国的这个政府和政商的关系，政府和商人的关系，始终在变化。
That would be in the area of government relations with business that they needed to be changed.
对，那么在这个看法，他的看法在企业家里面是有非常大的这么一个共识。
And the business class really widely agreed with what he said.
那么这个中共在18大以后呢，实际上是想给社会以确定性的预期的。
So the Communist Party at the 18th Party Congress wanted to give society a clear road for a reliable expectation looking forward.
那么3中全会和4中全会通过了2个文件，是吧？这2个文件呢，一个是关于经济的，那么在经济上呢是要继续坚持和深化市场化为导向的经济改革。
So in the 18th Party Congress 3rd and 4th plenums, they adopted two documents and to clarify the future path in 2 respects. So one of them was that in the economy that they would continue to uphold and deepen the principle that of economic reform that the market would guide the economy. The market would be the guiding force in the economy.
提出了60项改革清单。
And there were the 60 articles of economic reform that were passed at that time.
那么接着在2014年又开了4中全会，提出了这个依法治国的一个决议。
And then the 4th plenum in 2014 adopted the principle of using law to govern the society.
但是呢，就是说，这个大家恐怕都已经看到了，就是这2个文件出台以后啊，中国的经济和政治呢， 并没有表现出向市场化和法治化方向发展的一个势头。
And yet, after these two documents came out, we didn't see those principles really being implemented in the economy and in the political system.
而且倒退非常明显，是全方位的。
In fact, there was a clear and comprehensive backward movement.
比如说国企的改革嘛，现在不是向民企方向发展，而是向党企方向发展。
In fact, the state-owned enterprises, instead of becoming more like private enterprises, are becoming more like party enterprises.
法治方面的倒退更是有目共睹。
And on the retrogression with respect to rule of law, it's very obvious to everybody.
而且这几年出现了一系列的恶性的案件啊，包括抓律师啊，抓了100多个律师、人权律师，是吧？
We've seen more and more bad incidents like the arrests of hundreds of lawyers.
包括最近出现的，今年出现的雷洋案，雷洋案知道吧？雷洋案， I don't know that 就
case.
是那个年轻人被警察搞死了。
The case of Leon who was killed by the police this year.
这个案子对国内影响非常的大。
This is the one that got a lot of attention.
因为雷洋是一个可以看作是一个中产阶级的一个标志性的一个人吧。
This guy Leon who was killed by the police was a typical middle class person.
在一次这个警察非法的这个执法的过程中突然死掉了，这导致了中国中产阶级一种普遍的一种危机感。
And the fact that he was abused and killed by the police has created a sense of crisis among the middle
那
class.
么这种全面倒退的情况呢，是出乎大多数人的预料，这是没有想到的一个事情。
This retrogression was not expected by most people.
你觉得是不是也出乎你的预料？好像这个情况。
原来有一定的希望。
对，我们都是这样，
对
是吧？都觉得周永康好像是已经最坏的情况了，
Yeah,
波希呢是最坏的情况，
yeah,
觉得不可能再坏。
yeah.
结果现在看来好像是比那个时
We
候情况
thought Zhou
更。
Yongkang, Bo Xilai were the worst possible, and that nothing could be worse, but it's gotten worse.
所以你看，我们可以看到，就是在新政啊，我这打引号的啊，就是当时提出的洗礼新政的是吧？在4年以后，是吧？就是我们如果说大家还对中国的确定性充满了疑问的时候，就意味着有一个是确定的。
So after 4 years of Xi Jinping's so-called, new government, if we could say one thing is for sure, although China faced an uncertainty, but now one thing is certain:
那么就是说改革死掉，
the
改革已经死
reform is dead.
就是没有我们现在这4年里面我们看不到改革，没有任何改革。
There's no reform. It hasn't happened. It's not happening.
那么这样有个问题了，就是为什么改不动？为什么不改？
Yeah. Why? Why not reform?
对，坏啊。那么这个问题呢，在2013年已经提出来了。
We teach you that.
我实际上他们内部传出来的，就是有一个人高层的人物说，我们不改，你们怎么办？
In fact, within the regime itself in 2013, some high-level person raised this question saying, if we don't reform, what are you going to do about it?
我在2013年写了一篇文章，这篇文章大概是在海内外传播很大，就中国还将跌倒在哪里？就提到了这个问题，就是我们不改，你们怎么办？
I discussed this problem. If we don't reform, what are you going to do about it? In an article in 2013 that circulated a lot.
这篇文章在共识网也发表了，点击量都上升，大概是共识网点击量最多的文章之一。
And it was published on the Consensus website and got clicked on one of the most heavily clicked, what do you say, clicked, things on the website. Yeah.
那么为什么不改呢？我当时就提出了，就是中共改革面临的5个重大关切，或者说它有5个约束条件。
And in that article, I suggested there were 3 reasons that were restricting the party from being able to reform.
那么这个5个约束条件呢，就是说改可能会导致这个权力结构的一个重大调整。
That reform would cause a big adjustment in the power structure.
第二个约束条件就是该有可能使得现有的利益集团的利益结构发生重大调整。
And another reason was that it could have a big impact on the interests of the vested interest groups.
第三个约束条件就是对历史问题的重新评价，是它的一个无法突破的一个条件。
And then the party was unable to break through the touch on the problem of reevaluating various historical incidents.
第四个约束条件就是他现在的这种维稳的这个统治的方式需要做出重大调整。
And a fourth limit was that if you were going to reform, you'd have to make a fundamental change in the methods of maintaining social stability.
那么第五个约束条件呢，就是说现在处理民主关系和民主矛盾的这个方式要发生重大调整。
And also reform would require a fundamental change in racial relations with the national minorities or ethnic relations.
那么有可能中国会分裂。
And it could lead to a split of the country.
那么这样的话就不改，是不是就革命了呢？是吧？没有改革，就是不是就有革命了？
So then if there's not going to be reform, does it mean that there will be revolution?
对。那这又是一个2012年以来的一个大话题。
This is a topic people have been talking about a lot since 2012.
所以我当时实际上2013年已经谈到这个问题了，就是改革的革命客观条件是不是具备？
So I've also discussed this in 2013. Are the 革命的条件是不是具备？
对，客观条件是不是具备？
Are there the conditions for a revolution?
就是说，跟晚清的当时的这个辛亥革命的相比，目前和晚清的情况完全不一样。
So comparing it to the late Qing when a revolution did occur, the conditions really are completely different.
从上层来看，我把从上层就是国家整个的一个统治的机器，它就运转的非常的有效，它是世界上目前是最强大的一个国家机器。
So looking from the three levels, at the top level, the state apparatus is incredibly effective. It's really the most effective state apparatus in the world right now.
那么从中层来看呢，就是从地方自治，整个民间社会的发育的程度来看，和晚清相比，我们还达不到晚清这个水平。晚清的地方自治已经形成了。
Oh, I see. On the other hand, in the Qing period, the level of local autonomy was more advanced than what we have today.
那么现在我们没有地方自治，没有民间社会。
We really don't have civil society, and we really don't have local self-government today.
那么这个呢，就是从底层来，从下层来看，中国的一些流民啊，包括这个农民工啊，他没有形成一个有组织的一个力量。
And then in terms of the lower elements of society, the poor people, the migrant laborers, they have no organized movement.
那么从合法性来看呢，合法性呢主要还是当时晚清政权，它是因为是一个满清的政府，它跟汉族之间的这个冲突，使得它这一种政权的合法性遇到很大的问题。
And in the Qing, the regime was a Manchu regime, and it had conflicts with Han people, so that created a legitimacy problem for that regime.
而我们现在呢，它可以打一个爱国主义的旗帜和民族主义的旗帜。
But our current regime can use the flag of patriotism and nationalism.
那么革命的客观条件不具备，革命的主观条件有没有呢？
So what about the subjective conditions for revolution?
当时这个有位我在这个文章里面提到的我的一个朋友叫杨冠山，他的一个儿子14岁，他爸爸请教他，现在还有没有可能搞辛亥革命？
爸爸请教
孩子14岁，他儿子说我回去研究2天，2天以后呢跟他爸爸讲没戏，为什么？他爸爸问他为什么呢？他就说了这个话。 朝中没有原始感，江湖没有孙中山。当时我们听了都鼓掌，哇，讲得好。
So a friend of his asked his 14-year-old son are there the conditions for a revolution? The son said, I'll research it and get back to you in 2 days. And he came back, he said, no. Why? There's no Yuan Shikai in the court, and there's no Sun Yat-sen in the marshes, meaning that in the Communist Party leadership, there's nobody who's willing to revolt again, to betray the emperor, and there isn't any organized leader for revolution out in society. And so then this was very impressive for a 14-year-old.
后来我说江湖有孙中山吗？有，都在纽约。
Actually, there is a Sun Yat-sen, but all the Sun Yat-sens are in New York.
而且有很多孙中山，有很多十几个孙中山，他们没有形成，都是小孙中山，没有一个大孙中山。
There are dozens of separate little Sun Yat-sens doing revolution, but there's no single one big Sun Yat-sen who can really lead everybody, and they're all in exile.
所以我的结论是改革已死，革命不能。这个冯生斌先生，我就这个
So
结
my
论。
conclusion is reform is dead, but revolution is impossible.